but I don't think I'd be asking questions like that. You know, it just doesn't feel like that's the vibe. And that probably means she'll go on and win the Australian Open.
A tennis player in the United Cup ain't that big a deal, really, in America. And so people aren't coming with their chests puffed out in quite the same way.
No, yeah, I would be lying to you if I said I had no reservations. Obviously, you guys know like who I am and the things I speak about, and I was pretty much on almost every player call that I could make. And I don't think it was piling on. I was just trying to clarify what I meant, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I wrote everything that I have to say on that on the tweet, but I didn't expect it to be blown out of that proportion.
Coco Gauff has shut down the media, and honestly, it's about time someone did. The media always takes things out of proportion, twisting words and creating narratives that simply don't exist. And the same thing happened with Coco Gauff when she made a simple, honest observation about fan support during the United Cup. She commented that people in the USA don't come out in numbers to support Team USA at the United Cup. And you know what? There was absolutely nothing wrong with that statement. It was an observation, a fact, something that anyone paying attention to tennis could see.
I feel like there's worse things in the world.
But of course, the media couldn't just leave it at that. They had to spin it, manipulate it, and turn it into something it was never meant to be. Media persons took her words completely out of proportion and went on to say that Americans have no time to support Coco in Australia when they have a very good number of sports in which they excel. They tried to make it seem like Coco was being ungrateful, like she was demanding attention when American sports fans have the NFL, NBA, college football, and countless other sports to follow. They tried to defame her, to paint her as entitled and out of touch. They tried to create a villain out of someone who was simply making an honest observation about tennis viewership and support. This is exactly what's wrong with sports media today. They take a straightforward comment from an athlete and twist it into clickbait headlines designed to generate controversy where none exists. They know that conflict sells, that drama gets views, so they manufacture it even when an athlete is simply being honest about their experience. Coco wasn't attacking American fans. She wasn't being disrespectful. She was pointing out something that anyone who follows tennis already knows: that tennis doesn't always get the same level of fan support in the United States as it does in other countries, especially when tournaments are held overseas.
That doesn't necessarily mean she was there in the locker room doing the post 30 minutes before. I don't know if she does it herself, but certainly, yeah, that timing's not ideal, and maybe that was a factor.
But Coco Gauff isn't someone who stays quiet when people try to misrepresent her. She's proven time and time again that she's willing to stand up for herself, and this situation was no different. Coco responded to the controversy head-on, making it crystal clear that her comments were not being interpreted the way they should be. She clarified that her words were being taken completely out of proportion, and that the media was creating a narrative that simply didn't match what she actually said or meant. Coco made it clear that her fans know exactly what she was saying, and there's no need for them to be worried about anything. Her real supporters, the people who actually follow her career and listen to what she says, understand the context and know that she wasn't attacking anyone. But here's the thing: while Coco was professional and clear in her response, her tone made it absolutely clear that she is not going to go easy on anyone who tries to pull her down. There was a fire in her words, a determination that sent a message to everyone watching. Don't mess with Coco Gauff, because she will not be silenced, she will not be misrepresented, and she will not let anyone damage her reputation without fighting back.
And I don't think it was piling on. I was just trying to clarify what I meant, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I wrote everything that I have to say on that on the tweet, but I didn't expect it to be blown out of that proportion.
And she's not alone in this fight. Taylor Fritz, her fellow American tennis star and United Cup teammate, also joined the conversation, showing solidarity and support for Coco. Fritz made it clear that he has Coco's back in all of this, stating that they both have already clarified the situation and that the media needs to stop twisting their words. Having another prominent player stand with her sends a powerful message. This isn't just about Coco defending herself. This is about athletes standing together against media manipulation and false narratives. Look, the media needs to understand that they're playing with fire here, because Coco Gauff is not someone who can be stopped, whether it's on the court or off the court. She's going to come out loud and strong every single time someone tries to diminish her or spread falsehoods about her. This young woman has been in the spotlight since she was 15 years old, and she's learned how to navigate it, how to stand up for herself, and how to use her voice effectively. She's not intimidated by controversy, and she's certainly not going to let media spin control her narrative. If you need proof of Coco's mental toughness and her ability to channel negative energy into motivation, just look at her history on the court. Remember when Belinda Bencic tried that drama against Coco Gauff? Bencic was mocking her for raising her voice on the court during their match, making fun of Coco for being passionate and showing emotion during competition. But what happened after that? Coco didn't crumble, she didn't get intimidated, and she certainly didn't back down. After that initial set, Coco turned it completely around and defeated Bencic in exactly the way she deserved to be defeated. Coco used that negative energy, that mockery, as fuel, and she showed everyone watching that you cannot break her spirit by trying to belittle her.
Between these two was fine, by the way. This was a very impressive win from Coco. She led in the opening set 4-1, 30-15, but lost the 5-on-5 games of the opener. Then with that second set drama, she could have easily faded away, but Coco used it as fuel, which is why she's such a champion.
That match was a perfect example of who Coco Gauff is as a competitor. When someone tries to get in her head, when someone tries to use psychological tactics against her, she doesn't fold. Instead, she gets stronger, more focused, more determined. She takes whatever negativity is thrown at her and transforms it into ammunition that makes her game even more dangerous. That's the mark of a true champion, someone who thrives under pressure and refuses to be defeated by mind games. And it's not just the Bencic incident. A similar situation happened with Laura Siegemund, and once again, Coco showed exactly why you don't want to test her resolve. During that match, Laura was being helped by the referee, getting away with late serves and using intimidating tactics to try to throw Coco off her game. But Coco wasn't having it. She stomped on the floor, making it crystal clear to the referee that they needed to take account of Laura's late serves and her attempts to disrupt the flow of the match. Coco wasn't going to let the match be decided by gamesmanship or questionable officiating. And what happened after Coco stood up for herself? She got Laura Siegemund schooled. Coco took control of that match and showed everyone that when she's fired up, when she's determined to prove a point, there's nobody who can stop her. She didn't just win that match, she dominated it in a way that sent a clear message. If you try to use tricks and tactics against Coco Gauff, it's only going to make her play better and fight harder. These on-court examples are directly relevant to what's happening now with the media controversy. Coco's comments about this situation make it clear that she's going to go after these people who are spreading hate against her and misrepresenting her words. She's not going to sit back and let false narratives define her. She's not going to let media personalities twist her words for clicks and views. Just like she doesn't let opponents use mind games against her on the court, she's not going to let the media use manipulation tactics against her off the court. What we're seeing here is the evolution of Coco Gauff as not just a tennis player, but as a public figure who understands her power and her platform. She's learned that staying silent doesn't make controversies go away. It just allows other people to control your narrative. She's learned that sometimes you have to speak up, stand your ground, and make it clear that you won't tolerate being misrepresented. And she's doing exactly that with grace, strength, and an unmistakable edge that tells everyone she means business. The media should take note of what's happening here. Coco Gauff has millions of fans who support her, who believe in her, and who see through these transparent attempts to create controversy. These fans know that Coco is one of the most genuine, hardworking, and respectful athletes in tennis today. They know that when she makes a comment about fan support, she's not attacking anyone, she's simply sharing her perspective as someone who represents Team USA on the international stage. At just 20 years old, Coco has already accomplished so much in her career. She's won a Grand Slam title at the US Open. She's been ranked in the top 10. She's represented her country with pride and passion. And she's become a role model for young athletes around the world. She's done all of this while maintaining her authenticity, her values, and her willingness to speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. The bottom line is this: the media picked the wrong person to try to create a false controversy around. Coco Gauff is not someone who will be intimidated, silenced, or controlled by narratives that don't reflect reality. She's going to continue speaking her truth, standing up for herself, and representing tennis and Team USA with the same passion and integrity she always has. And anyone who tries to tear her down or spread negativity about her is going to find themselves on the wrong side of a battle they can't win. Because Coco has proven time and time again that when challenged, she only gets stronger, more determined, and more dangerous.